So when we hear the word narcissism, we often have this idea in our minds of someone who is brash and overtly obsessed with themselves, right? Like grandiose, standing up, rah, 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 all the attention on me, right? A narcissist, we think of someone who's just obsessed with getting attention, obsessed with themselves and telling everyone in the world how great they are. Look at me, look at my selfies, look at me everywhere, right? And this is one kind of narcissism, but I just wanted to shine light today on the second kind of narcissism, which is quite a bit more insidious, and it's called covert narcissism. And the reason it's insidious and hidden is because these aren't people who are overtly, brashly looking for attention. They share similar characteristics. So the basis behind narcissism is that these are people who hold an idealized self-image that they project out to the world in order to protect a very wounded self-image that they really have inside. So they're basically putting this image of themselves out that they don't really believe in, but they need the rest of the world to believe and validate for them. And so overt narcissists will do this through they're very charismatic, they're very loud, they're generally extroverted. And these are all sort of generalizations, but this is some of the characteristics. Coverts, on the other hand, are the opposite. They still need attention and validation from the outside world to validate that idealized image that they carry in order to protect, prevent against and avoid looking at the wounds that maybe are really there. But they do this not through the grandiose methods, but through more covert methods. And, so covert narcissists, I guess I'm just sharing this because I'm interested to know if you ever feel like you're in sort of a toxic relationship or an energy draining situation, maybe the person you're dealing with has these characteristics and might be a little bit of a covert narcissist. So these people are generally very emotionally aware and great at practicing empathy. So, if you look up narcissism, you'll see one of the traits that's there all the time is they say they're not empathetic. They have no capacity for empathy. And that doesn't really seem to be true. Covert narcissists are extremely good at projecting empathy and an emotional, loving, giving nature to the world. And they might feel that, but oftentimes it's used to draw the other person in. So these kind of narcissists, they need supply. They need people to feed their self-image and to love them and to adore them and to give into their energy supply because they haven't got any of their own. And so other things about covert narcissists, they might come off as very charming, very hypnotic and charismatic. You might feel sort of drawn into a spell with them. If you get into a relationship with them, it might feel completely magnetizing and like no love you've ever felt before. I might get into that stuff in another video, but overall they're very hypnotic, they're very charismatic, a lot of people love them, and when you get close to them you start to understand more of the subtleties, their projections of the insecurities, an ability to take criticism, so really protective of the self-image that they have, and through the covert methods, if you start to become very close to a covert narcissist, they're able to use manipulation techniques to sort of make you feel like your reality is not true. So this is a technique that can be very dangerous and damaging if you're in this sort of connection for too long. So by sort of twisting your reality, you're made to see that they're the ones who basically it's to make you start doubting yourself and giving your power away so that they can take the power, because covert narcissists don't have the power inside of themselves, and they tend to attract people who do have light and power, and through their very, very masterful methods, they're able to draw that out from you. And so, yeah, these are just, I just wanted to bring this up because I think in our society we have this idea of what narcissism is as this very brash thing, and there's an entirely other kind of the covert that doesn't show up in society the way that the overt does, but it can be very damaging if you become very close and, very invested in this kind of connection without realizing what is actually happening, because a lot of it is happening to make you doubt yourself and your sanity. Anyway, so I'm just interested to know if you've ever experienced anyone like this, or if you're in any sort of connections that feel a bit draining, you feel tired afterwards, if you feel like you're just not quite sure something's not quite right with it. I'm curious to hear if anyone, if you've experienced this at all, and yeah, what you can, how you can use this knowledge to move forward with your choices and your connections and boundaries. All right. Hope you have a great day. Sorry that wasn't like the most amazing, positive, optimistic topic, but just felt called to share. And we just had an earthquake in Bali today. Just had an earthquake. It was crazy. Moving and shaking. Yeah. Hope there won't be any more. And hope you don't have any earthquakes on your side of the world, wherever you may be.